So Brian Shaw announces his final lineup. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. What a wonderful day it is here in Ireland. The sun is shining, the birds are singing, and there's people riding. That's all you want out of a bit of a sunshine, is a small bit of riding. Anyway guys, it's not raining here. If there's anyone out there that needs a shot of rain, I will put my gypsy curse and I'll send a bit of rain over your way. I haven't heard word from anyone in Australia and Arizona in a while. You must have got a shot of rain. You're welcome, you cunts. Anyway, Brian Shaw has announced his final lineup, and a lot of people are not happy. There's a couple of people not happy about it, but I feel like if he invited 8 billion people on the planet, there'd still be some of you not happy. He wouldn't be fucking. It's very hard to keep some of you strongman fans happy. You're never happy, ye cunts. I don't believe it. Anyway, guys, what we're going to do is let's watch it. Let's watch it all together like a big fat fucking cunt of a family. A big happy family.
Let's jump into the athletes for Strongest Man on Earth. From those 8, we did have 7 of them.
So he's 7 of them announced out of 8. Thor has declined his invite. I don't think it's down to anything other than, I think it's the bench press that's coming up in the Shaw Classic, or the Strongest Man on Earth. And Thor obviously tore his pec before, so I think something like that could end up rupturing it, and I think he's on the way out. I think there's talks of him retiring soon, and it'll be a shitty way to go out to re-tear his pec. So I think he's right in just turning this down and not getting injured again, because as you know, lads, I fucking hate the injuries, because there's no one to look after the fella once he's injured. It's best of luck now with your recovery and putting your bicep and your tit back on. We'll see you there in about 6 months. Give us a ring and let us know how you're getting on. In the meantime, fuck off, right? But anyway,
confirm, which
let's
we
carry
have announced.
on.
Let me go through those for you real quick. So Mitchell Hooper, Lucas Hatton, Trey Mitchell, Austin Andrade, Tom Stoltman, Maxime Boudreau, and Josh Spurgeon.
Can I just say, out of the top 7 there, there's one guy from outside of America and Canada. One fella. One. Come on now. America has some good athletes. Canada has some great athletes. But for fuck's sake, one guy outside of those 2 places all you're going to bring. That'll tell you it's probably down to money, which is why some of the athletes are missing from this list.
So those are the 7 athletes. We had invited Hafthor Bjornsson. He asked for a significant amount of time to kind of think about whether he was going to come, what he wanted to do, and ended up letting me know that he was going to pass this year. So certainly we will miss seeing Hafthor and wish him all the best.
And yeah, I'm going to miss Hafthor competing at this, because do you know what? If you rewind a month ago, 2 months ago, say, right? And we knew that Hafthor wasn't going to compete as Strongest Man on Earth. We would have all said the same thing, that Mitchell Hooper's going to win the show without having to do the last 2 events. But now, after World's Strongest Man, so many things have changed. Tom has decided to take the finger out of his hole. Now, Tom, if you're watching this, Tom Stoltman, if you're watching this, and I know you'll be watching some of the videos, you little liardy cunt, bring that same attitude you brought to Worlds to Strongest Man on Earth, and there's a chance you could win it, you lazy cunt. So do us all a favour, stop being a lazy cunt, show up to Strongest Man on Earth without being a little cunt, and just show them what you can do outside of World's Strongest Man. Where was I? I can't even remember what I was saying. Oh, let's carry on the video.
But that means that we have 9 more athletes to invite. So just to reiterate how we do the qualifiers and how we select the athletes for the Strongest Man on Earth, as I said in a previous video.
Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. Now it's after coming back to me. Now that after World's Strongest Man, we can see that there is possibly, off the top of my head, 4 people that can win Strongest Man on Earth now. 2 months ago, I would have said 1 man, hands down, Mitchell Hooper's going to win it. Doesn't even matter who's turning up after that. But now I think it's like 4 guys, because I still think Mitchell Hooper, because Mitchell Hooper is just a fucking beast. Let's be honest. Tom Stoutman, if he removes the finger and shows up the same style he did at World's Strongest Man. Trey Mitchell, right? I didn't think Trey Mitchell last year could get much stronger than he already has, but Trey Mitchell at World's Strongest Man was something else. Something else. He's such a beast, and this competition is all about max strength events. That's why I'm going to put him there as possibly winning this competition. And obviously our world's strongest man, Reno Nell. I can't wait to see what Reno Nell does here, because you know you can't really judge a man. Well, you can, because it's world's strongest man and they hit you from so many different angles. Your overhead, your deadlift, your moving, your grip. So we know he's a fucking phenomenal athlete. But it'll be interesting to see him in max events like this. I'm very excited to see him compete at this event. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm such a fan of him. Such a nice guy, a fucking gentleman, and a beast behind it all. So those are my 4 guys, I think. No, I'm probably leaving someone out there. I feel like I am, off the top of my head. So yeah, it's a 4-man race now, I think.
So we are taking the top 5 from the previous year, top 3 from Rogue Invitational, top 3 from the Arnold Strongman Classic, and top 3 from the World's Strongest Man are direct invites. So out of these...
So he's 5 from the previous Strongest Man on Earth, top 3 from Worlds, top 3 from Rogue, and top 3 from Arnold's, which happens to be a lot of the same people.
9, one athlete, Reno Nell, who won the 2025 World's Strongest Man, he automatically qualified. So Reno has accepted his invite. Very excited to have him as part of the competition. I think a lot of people are going to be very excited. But outside of Reno...
So out of those 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15... What was it? 15 possible ways to get invited. Only one guy got through that wasn't already invited.
You know, we then go back to looking at the body of work for all of these athletes. I actually have a committee of 5 different people that I ask to give me their analysis of these athletes, who they think would fit the best for the Strongest Man on Earth. And so these athletes have accepted their invite. You know, again, I could go down and break down why they all got chosen, but these are the 8. So what we've got is Evan Singleton.
So Evan Singleton is a just worthy invite. I hope his bicep is okay.
Bobby Thompson, Wes Derwinski.
There's a lot of people complaining about Bobby Thompson being invited, and I can see your point. Like, he hasn't placed well recently. He hasn't done a whole pile. But I would that doesn't mean shit, because we've seen him at the Arnold Classic and we've seen him do well at these really heavy shows. And I can see why Brian Shaw is bringing Bobby Thompson along. Number 1, he doesn't have far to bring him. Let's be honest. He's only up the road. And number 2, Bobby seems to do really well at these heavy competitions. Like, we see him raw dogging fucking 1,000 pounds at the Arnold Classic. You know, so I bet you a lot of people who are giving out, and I see all the comments about Bobby Thompson. Why the fuck is Bobby there? You're being lousy, you cunts. You're being lousy. The man, I'm telling you, because I was thinking about it. I was thinking about it a lot today, about these invites. And I think, looking at those invites, Bobby could do really well at this competition. And I hope he does. Thomas Evans seems to do really well at these competitions as well, these heavier type competitions. Hopefully he gets on well. Again, it's another guy that didn't make top 10 at Worlds, which we'll get to in a minute. Andre Foitu, I can't wait to see him out there. Andre is an unbelievable athlete. He keeps upping his game. Every time I see that little cunt, he gets better and better and better. I've seen videos of him like strict pressing a 180 log for 7 reps out of a rack. It's just ridiculous. His deadlift is climbing. His stones is the only thing that he needs to work on, I feel. But again, that's just something, like he's still, what age is he? Like fucking 14 or something. Fucking crow, my caravan, frightened the shit out of me. Anyway, as I was saying, Andrew Foitu, he's like 14 years of age, so I think like in a couple more years he'll be absolute. I think he could win World's Strongest Man. He's that type of an aura around him. Eddie Williams, absolutely, again, deserves this invite. Eddie Williams, another fella, like last year, or not even last year, 2 years ago, said, oh, why is Eddie being invited? But every year, he just gets better and better and better. And even at the deadlift at World's Strongest Man this year, it was 350 kilos. an inch deficit, boiling fucking hot. So hot. God, I hate that hotness. I like a bit of hotness, but not when it's baking the shit out of me and turning my fucking hole red. And Eddie Williams' best with 350 kilos was 4 reps, and he went out and he did 7 reps. He's after doubling his PB on his deadlift at World's Strongest Man. So I just feel like if he keeps getting these big invites, he will prove that he should be at every one of these big shows. I already believe he should be at every one of these big shows. But as I said to him during the week, you just need to practice your round stones because you're good at the natural ones. You're just not so good with the unnatural round ones.
Shane Flowers and
Shane
Bryce
Flowers.
Johnson. And then as the first
Bryce
alternate,
Johnson.
we have Tristan Hoth.
And Tristan Hoth. So I assume Tristan Hoth will be competing as well because he said he's the invite 9. He named 8 there. Tristan Hoth being the 9th, being the reserve. So I imagine Tristan's in. I find it strange, right? Obviously, Shane Flowers is a justified invite, made top 10 at World's Strongest Man. But why was Paddy Haynes over? Like, I imagine he was looking for an English athlete or British athlete. Why was Shane chosen over Paddy? And I can't figure it out because Paddy was 4th at Brits. He was 2nd at Europe's Strongest Man. He was 5th at World's Strongest Man. I just think they both should be there. Shane and fucking Paddy should be there. Paddy is probably the biggest, why the fuck was he not invited argument for me. I mean, like, look at World's Strongest Man. The only 4 guys to beat him at World's Strongest Man were Mitchell Hooper, Rain O'Neill, Tom Stoutman and Trey Mitchell. The exact 4 guys who I think could win the Strongest Man on Earth. And then you had Paddy Haynes in 5th. I just feel like it's so unjustified not bringing him. If it was a case of they only wanted to bring one British athlete, there's a lot of cases to be made bringing Paddy on. I don't know. Another one is Luke Stoutman. Why wasn't Luke Stoutman invited? Now, I heard rumours that this show, Strongest Man on Earth, like World's Strongest Man, none of these fucking things make money, apparently. That's what I've been told over and over again. And it's such a shame because I feel like that's what the real issue here is because, like, if it came down to it, Brian Shaw would probably open up more spaces to the Strongest Man on Earth, and I think he should because Luke Stoutman, I don't know if Mateusz Kilikowski was invited or not, but I feel he should be there. And Paddy Haynes, 3 athletes, 3 amazing, phenomenal athletes that should be there in that lineup. So if I think that money, it's a pity, really. It's always to do with money, isn't it?
Those are the 8 athletes. Again, I think when you get down to, you know, the bottom of the invites, there's always, you know, potentially an argument that can be made one way or another. But again, based on everybody that I have inquired with, this is the list that everybody agreed on. We're actually going to change the last event of the contest. So
that's the last of the invites. So my only issue is I genuinely think Paddy being left out is a massive mistake. I understand there's 2 pressing events where he'll probably do really shit, let's be honest, though he is working on his overhead and his pressing, but everything else, like, you know, he's one of the best deadlifter for reps in the world, if not the best, one of the best, like top 3 anyway in my head, current. Moving events, you can't catch the cunt. He's savage at stones. I think he could do damage on that max stone event. You know, I think if he went out there, he wouldn't be last place. He would be probably mid-pack because he'd probably lose so many points in that fucking Preston event. That's probably where Shane, maybe that's what they did. They compared the 2 of them of who would do better at that competition. Possibly Shane would do better with these events, Shane Flowers, because Shane's press is obviously a lot better than Paddy. I don't know. I genuinely think they should be both invited. They both earned an invite, the Strongest Man on Earth, and I think it's just coming down to money, the price of trying to ship these cunts over. It's just a shame, really. Anyway, he's a big announcement with one of the events.
What I had said before was it was a tire flip, a medley of a tire flip into power stairs to finish the contest. So what we are actually going to do is build a different piece of equipment for the start of that medley. So we're finalizing that kind of as we speak. and I will announce that.
Oh yeah, okay, so that's it.
Brian Shaw here. Guys, we're not going to do the tire flip anymore. No, it's a really good event and I love it, but we're not going to do it.
Because he wants to save some biceps. I'm glad he made that decision, because that's probably where a lot of people would, in fact, get injured the last event with a heavy tire flip. But in saying that, the only time people get injured on tires, in my opinion, the only time people get injured on tires and on sacks, because that's where, let's be honest, that's where everyone's getting injured these days, is those fucking sacks. The only reason they get injured is because they're not heavy enough. If that tire was super heavy, you literally can't bicep curl it, so you're going to have to do it properly like I do. I was really good at tire flipping my day. Like, really good in my day. I'm still in the day, kind of. And it's because I use catch the tire. It's a great little tip. Catch the tire there. Even if you chalked up there a bit of that spray tack in top of your chest, just up here, if you have a thing coming up, and just flip the tire. This tire just sticks there and you're front squatting it up as opposed to bicep curling it. If you do the fucking tire flip right, lads, you won't tear your fucking biceps. My point is, if it's heavy enough, you wouldn't tear your bicep because you will end up using more body parts. And the same has to be said about the sack, Harry. If the sack was as heavy, you wouldn't be trying to bicep everything. You'd be putting more, your back, your lats, your legs, your hips, your hamstrings into it, putting more into it. Just when they're light, these fucking big whores like Luke Richardson are pissing them around the place, and like it's 130 kilos at the end of the day, and just it's like that. But I feel like if even the sack at World's Strongest Man was heavier, imagine that was like a 150 or 160 kilo sack, right? I think they would spend more time trying to pick it up and clean it and run with it, and I think there'd be less injuries. Am I wrong? What do you think? Let me know. Anyway, guys, that's all we've time for today. Let me know what you think about these invites. Should we open up more spaces for athletes? I think we should. How does a competition like this make more fucking money? I don't know. It's fucking sickening. I should be there. Why am I invited? I could come over and do a commentary, Brian. How much better would I make it than that fucking idiot that they get? I don't know, maybe it's Rogue I'm thinking of, or the Arnold Classic. You know that fella that keeps getting everyone's names wrong and mixing up names? I'd be far better than that cunt. I promise I won't swear. I won't even say cunt once. Not even one. I get it out of my system that morning. I'll say like cunt 1,000 times, so I won't even feel like saying it anymore. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Good day to you.